Now,
Okay.
so one of my favorite.
Just get that. Stop that guy.
When you're so smart that you stupid. About the Austin Tatum store, Also, Beating Black and Blue, my book, Being a Black Cop in America Under Siege, available.
He's a coon, so go ahead, get his cooning book. Unless you want to become a coon yourself, I suggest you only get the book so you can figure out how your enemies work. Other than that, I wouldn't get the book. Especially the fact that you're sponsoring a coon. This guy's a straight up coon. He called George Floyd a thug. Look, when somebody dies, especially in a situation like that, you're not gonna go ahead and disrespect the dead, okay? That is only the type of stuff that Ruga does. Ruga, by the way, is a gangbanger so if you want to do that type of stuff, you're a coon. Especially you do it to your own whatever. And hey, look, yeah. So and then of course the prophet Barack Obama. What did he do for the black community except for say, he didn't even do like, he didn't even do like, you guys invented the wheel. He did this is what you guys look like when you were enslaved. Instead of doing actual black history, it's just, look, this is the whips your masters used to use. Like that's the okay. So and by the way, his VP was Joe Biden, who was Crime Bill Biden. He calls predators sitting mouse and Rachel's jungle, and yeah. So and the whole busing thing, like, so yeah, yeah, very funny. And then also Joe Biden's VP is Kamala Harris, and she was laughing about getting one of her own killed. So hey, and then now is gonna be Supreme Court, which is insane. But we'll talk about it later. But for now, let's just
as well. Link is below in the description section. Y'all know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I'm on assume that his name is Eli Mistel. I could be getting it wrong reading what my favorite subject. Go Google him and figure his real name out. But this guy, not this guy, this is actually a girl that literally makes me want to throw up every time I see her here on the camera. But the guy that they interviewed said that the Constitution is...
It's funny that he's saying. I just want to say it's funny that a coon is coming out and saying that about her. It's very funny, very very funny.
It's trash.
And again, if you have a problem with it, debate me.
It should be thrown out or rewritten. I'm going to let him speak for himself, so you don't think I put any words in his mouth, and then I'm going to rebut it. Roll the film.
Some will say, okay, so are you arguing for throwing out the Constitution? Should the Constitution be thrown out? What do we do? Is it a living document? Is it a sacred document?
It's certainly not sacred. All right, let's start there. The Constitution is kind of trash. Now, let's just talk as adults for a second.
What did you say? It's what?
Okay, so let's take a little bit of a peek at the Constitution here. Take like a peek, read a little bit, kind of understand what it is. Okay, just a little bit, because I'm not completely familiar with it. But like I said, just want to take a peek, kind of see. Okay, let's see. Article 1, Section 1. Okay, let's see. All legislative powers herein granted shall be visited in I don't know what to do with that. It's like, I don't know. In Congress of the United States, which shall consist of Senate and House Representatives. Okay. This sounds the no. Okay. So, okay. The amendments at this point. Okay, I don't think actually. I'm not really reading at this point, but this is all about Congress, okay? And I think as far as our government goes, it's going smoothly. But abide by the government. Not by the Constitution. I don't think completely. For example, we commit war crimes all the time. So all this overseas nonsense, most of it is war crimes. If we actually strictly go by the Geneva Convention, I would have much fewer complaints about America. Okay, First Amendment. Congress shall make no laws respecting and this respect. I thought it was gonna be restricting. Shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free experience of. Therefore, the freedom of speech okay, so it's saying freedom of speech and stuff like that. Okay, so that's important to have freedom of speech, especially in democracy. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's see. A well-regulated. Okay, I don't. Okay, a well-regulated militia being in a free state, the right of people. Okay, so it's not you have the right to bear arms to defend yourself. It's in a militia you can bear arms. That's very important because people do not make that distinction all the time. Also, sorry for all the stuff. I still haven't figured out how to properly use the mic. Okay. Right. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without consent of the. Okay, so I don't know what the Third Amendment means. Okay, Fourth Amendment. Okay, the right. Okay, the right of people should be considered. Okay, so. Okay, I think so far you guys can take a deeper look at the Constitution far. The View. I don't know anyone who actually watches The View and likes. Oh my gosh, disgusting. Okay, this girl's a Ukraine shirt on. That's disgusting. That I just realized that's a Ukraine shirt. That's disgusting. Because Ukraine's disgusting. You can, but we're just gonna move on. But so you guys can take a look at it for yourself. But I think that if we actually abide by the Constitution more, things wouldn't be a problem. Like people, So, but okay, let's go.
Kind of trash. It was written by slavers and colonists and white people who were willing to make deals.
Here's the thing, though. It got amended so that way. Here's the thing. If we throw out the entire Constitution, we're not doing that. We're gonna amend the Constitution to say, okay, slavery isn't right. We're gonna amend the Constitution. I don't think that throwing out the entire Constitution is necessary or even a good idea. Now so
Deals with slavers and colonists. Then ask it.
So,
Anybody look like me, what they thought about the Constitution? Then they'd say, oh, Jim, come over here. What do you think about this old Constitution?
again, they amended it. So yeah, at first, first we need to change it. But again, change, not completely replace. Because at this point, starting over is just not. I don't think it's a good idea, and especially in this crazy state of America, we're basically like we're both corporal. We're both okay. So basically, I'm gonna say there are 4 parties. Okay, you got your Republicans or your Trumpians, because he had a House takeover. So then instead of becoming they became so you got the Trumpians. Then you got the Trumpians, and then you got the corporate Democrats. Okay, then you got the kind of actually then you got the more Bernies, because the more kind of like Bernie's thing. Okay, so that's basically what you're getting as far as these things go. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's continue.
I still don't like how you stole my children. But I gotta say, man, this King George, he needs to be stopped. My grandpapa used to say, ain't no taxation without representation for massa.
His southern
Okay, so taxation without representation is actually what the Americans used to go against the Brits. I learned that from Oversimplified. Go check him out.
voice is trash.
That's
When he said his voice was trash,
without representation for massa.
His southern voice is trash.
That's not what happened.
Okay.
Right? This document was written without the consent of black and brown people in this country and without the consent of women in this country. And I say
okay,
that
this guy looks like he's having a problem with him stating that fact. Racist white people would be a problem, he's agitated right now. Look at him, he's agitated. Look, agitated.
of black and brown people in this country and without the consent of women in this country. And I say that is the
It was. Women couldn't vote, and black people were able to be slaves. Okay, so, but it got amended. So my point is, it's not trashing to be thrown out, but it needs to be amended, and we need to follow it more. And the Geneva Convention.
starting point. The very least we can do is ignore what those slavers and colonists and misogynists thought and interpret the Constitution in a way that makes sense for our modern world. That's
Do you want
the
to rewrite
starting
it?
line.
Do you want to rewrite it?
I could, right? I could rewrite.
I don't think so. I don't think you can understand most of the stuff in the Article 1, Section 1. There's a lot of complicated stuff. And like I said, especially how our government's set up. In this crazy town, we absolutely need the Constitution. Probably the most right now. We need to amend it in some areas. And we need to seriously take a look at police. But
Must have been in a tweet, right?
Listen to what this fool said. Listen
okay, no, I'm just gonna.
to what these people think.
Like, how about popular election for the president?
Okay,
People
so the majority argument again. I think again, some things need to be changed, but I think that generally the way things are is fine. It's the reason why we couldn't have Bernie versus Trump is because of black fools in Carolina, and yeah, I'm calling them fools because because again, you have arrested for civil rights Bernie versus crime bill Biden. I'm sorry, if you go for Bernie and not Biden, you're idiot and you're a fool. And quite frankly, you deserve a little bit what's happening to you. Maybe now you get the wake up call and get Bernie next year. Bernie's still an option. Even if he doesn't run, you can still vote for him.
vote not land.
That's not even in there. Or is it?
Land is not voting, guys. Holy crap. Okay. If there is a section where, like, okay, this section gets this many votes, that's exactly what it's like. This section gets this many votes. If it's like that, if it's like this, this section gets a lot of votes, there's not gonna be there's gonna be packed like sardines. So sure, some land gets to vote, but no, it doesn't, and the land doesn't get a say in the matter. So what are you talking about? Land gets to vote. Land doesn't cast a ballot. Also, New York, there's a lot of people. So guess what? There's a swing state. A lot of people are going there because it's important. But a place with very low population, they get barely any votes. That's how it goes. There are now of course there are sleazy ways that people manipulate that, and those professionals need to make sure it's like gerrymandering or anything like that. But again, I live in Maine. My vote. Here's the thing. I live in Maine, right? So there are less people around. Okay, let's do this. We got 10 people and we got 2 people, okay? We got 3 people and we got 10 people, okay? The person voting in the 3 people is gonna have more effect and less effect than people in 10 people. Now let me explain. So this video is probably gonna be really long. Okay, so the people 10. Okay, the people in the 3 column, their single vote could okay. So if it takes just 2 people to sway the vote, so that section is blue instead of red. So if you're in the 1 column, your vote has more weight, and there's the fact that your singular vote has more weight than if you're in the group of 10, which your vote would have less weight because it's a group of 10 people. Okay, so at one area, you're a third of a third of the population agrees with you because you are the third of the population. Another one, you're a tenth of the population. Then now it's going to the 10 one. Okay, if the majority agrees with you, if the majority agrees with you, then your vote is more effective. Wanna know why? Because if it's the 3 section versus the 10 section, the 10 section is gonna win 10 out of 10. You wanna know why? Because the 10 section is more the 10 section is more influential and has more weight other than the 3 section. But so basically you have the cumulative weight, which is higher which is in higher places like New York, and then you have your personal weight, which is in places like Maine and Montana where there's very few people.
I was reading it. We could do it in a tweet, right?
Yeah, you know.
Term limits for Supreme
Wait,
Court.
I'm sorry. Vote in a tweet? Is that what he said? Because that's stupid. I hope, because you know how many YouTube accounts I have? You know how many Twitter accounts I could generate?
Vote, not land.
Okay.
People vote, not land.
Wait. He said,
Listen to what these people think.
Like, how about popular election for the president? People vote, not land.
okay, so to rewrite, I could rewrite parts of it in a tweet, right? Is that what you said? 'Cause I'm seeing the subtitles for that. He's a little bit backed up.
I could rewrite parts of it in a tweet, right?
Yeah, no. Under any circumstances are we taking
Not
to Twitter to
land.
change our damn constitution? Are you what? Okay. That's a stupid thing I've ever heard in my
Rights
life.
when it comes to healthcare, elections, policing, and guns.
Right.
It's when it comes to term limits for Supreme Court justices. And how about no states' rights when it comes to health care, elections, policing, and guns?
No states' rights? No. No. When it comes to policing, no, because that means that the federal government's gonna have all the power, and of course that could, for example, if Jesus, okay, let's pretend that Jesus was a king on earth, because he is a king and he has the most power. But let's say that he was David was a king. Let's say he was a king. That would be great. Okay, that would be great. Here's the thing, though. If Satan was the king, like David was the king, that's you whore. That's you wretched. Okay, so as you can see, yes, one person having all the power is good, but here's the thing: you have to account for human nature or sinful nature, which is it's gonna be corrupt. So you need other checks and balances. So I think that the state government is a good check and balance. And I've seen you guys can, yeah, I've seen Designated Survivor and Governor. Okay, this is spoilers for I think up to the 5th season or whatever like that, 5th episode. But just be aware. I'm at the 11th episode, so if you have not gotten there, you might be spoiled because I don't know exactly where it's at. I'm pretty sure it's around the 5th episode, but just watch until the 11th episode or skip. Okay. So in Designated Survivor, Governor Royce he stands against Kirkman and with all the racism. He stands against Kirkman. Because the cops are being really racist. So that time like, okay, if he was a king, he could just shut that down. The thing is, if the situations were flipped, it's still important. Okay, all right, let's continue.
All right, y'all can watch the rest of this. Let's go from the very top. Show me a place in the world that's more equitable and fairer than the United States of America. Show me a document in which you want to be underneath.
Okay, I don't know, but I don't know, but I mean, Jamaica, Canada, Brazil, like I don't know the all the stuff in there. But we do get a lot of freedoms in America. At the same time, it's not entirely fair because we had all those freedoms when Tamir Rice was shot because he had a toy gun. I'm 13. If I come out with a toy gun in the park and they're gonna roll up and shoot me, like a drive-by shooting, like Ruga or Duck, like these are cops are starting to act like gangbangers. And thug is a code for nigger, by the way. And don't put a Joe Rogan twist on this, because as you can see the time. It's March 3rd. It's March 8th, 2022. So you pull up that clip, and I'll know exactly how to go right back to the video. So if you're gonna take it out of context, you can do that. But when they say thug, they actually mean nigger. So that's when you watch his reaction to George Floyd. Watch what he says about George Floyd. But anyway, just continue. Go ahead.
That it's not the Constitution of the United States of America. Just because it doesn't have black consent, women consent, does not mean that the document isn't representative.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's because it's impossible to properly get those done unless you're following the Bible, which was written by Jesus. By the way, it wasn't written by Paul or anything. Jesus used him basically as a pen. Like that. So it's straight from all of the Bible, straight from God. So the Bible, all of it, Ben Shapiro. Anyway, so sorry about that, guys. Okay, I'm still learning how to use a mic, and you guys can hear me, one you guys can't. But yeah, just listen. I can sidetrack.
Women consent.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, you need people in there to say, okay, hey, this is not okay. Okay, so yeah, that's what is. So it actually is necessary. Here's the thing, though, it got amended. There you go. It got amended to be a little bit more fair. Okay, and we need to keep doing that and keep abiding by the law because most of this stuff is illegal. I think half the things that are going on in the government at this point is illegal.
Does not mean that the document isn't representative of those people.
How could it be, though? And again, there's slave owners. There's literally slave owners. This guy is saying George Washington was thinking about the best for black people when he wrote this down. Here's the thing. They're all slave owners. And so if they were to probably write it down, they would be giving up all their slaves. Okay? Now, not all of them were slave owners, I think. But most of them were. And I know that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, those people had a plan right in the Constitution. So please miss me with that BS.
People somehow act like because you're white and you're a man, somehow you're not a human. Somehow.
Okay, I think a little. No, I'm not gonna. But everyone's made an image from God. Even the filthy Ukrainian soldiers. They're all. I said soldiers for a very purpose reason because they bomb their own things on purpose. It's one of those specific people. But everyone is made in the image and likeness of God. So this time he's right. Yeah, You are. They're all still human. They're all human. Okay.
You're not a great thinker. Somehow God ain't on your side. I think that the founding documents were written by men who believed in God, who were inspired to write a document that can outlast time.
Okay. Again, there were slave owners, and slavery was still fun after that. Discrimination was still fun after that. Premier Rice and Emmett Smith, they were all still allowed after that. So, okay, sure, buddy, sure, but no. The only document that has been able to go on for forever and all time, bros, that applied to that to in the past as much as it applied in the future, and will continue to apply, is the Bible. That's it. Also, the Bible has its own little CDC panel, and it tells you what to do in a situation like Corona. So please, again, miss me that the Bible's fake, but there's a whole lot of, I forget what it's called, but there's a whole lot of things that we do that. But right now, we're talking about this.
The things that we see in the Constitution are coming into effect even today in 2022. You heard him say, "No states' rights." Popular vote for the presidential election. We have never not had electoral college votes. But what they do know is that they have these people in New York and in California that will decide every single election, pretty much eliminating the flyover states, the people who live in the flyover states. We technically we won't be the United States anymore. We would be just one big country that's not divided into states with states' rights. The policing, gun laws. But this is totality.
Yeah, okay. Gun laws, yep. Because I'm a Christian, I'm a pacifist, so no gun laws. As in, no guns, period. If guns weren't allowed in the U.S. and they were only able to be given directly from, I mean, you gotta see how easy it is for people to buy and sell guns. Like, there was a documentary my dad was putting on, and it was just, you could go on eBay or Amazon. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, to get guns? So maybe what's happening in Chicago wouldn't be the bigger problem if in the El Paso shooter, those would be a bigger problem if we just said no more guns. Guns are for the military strictly.
Mentality. This is fascism, socialism.
And yeah, I have to agree with Tatum here. That would be fascist. And again, like I said, for example, if Jesus was in the position that Hitler was in, great. But you saw what the position Hitler was in, and you saw how he abused his power because it's in nature. Okay.
Communism, all wrapped in one. There's nothing wrong with states' rights. We are the United States of America.
There is something wrong with it, but there's also something wrong with it taking that completely. So you have to have a balance. Like I said, the Governor Wood situation. But then what if the situation was flipped? You see?
States have rights. The federal government shall not infringe on inalienable rights of individuals.
Which means no slavery, dum-dum! And of course, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, I'm pretty sure they're part of the writers of the, we're gonna look up right now. Of U.S. Authors of the U.S. Constitution. George Washington. George Washington. Let's look. There's a lot of people here. Yeah, one person's able to. Okay, so I don't know the slave owners of these guys and how many of them were slave owners, how many of them were not. But George Washington right here. I'm not gonna click on each one, okay? But you can if you want to. But Again, how is something like this allowed? Is Thomas Jefferson on here? No. Was that Thomas Jefferson right there that I saw? Thomas Fritzl. Okay. So there's actually a lot of people here. Okay. There's actually a lot, decent amount of people here. Okay. But, I'm not gonna click on each one. I'm gonna click on one of them, see what it says, you know. Okay. Whatever. Okay. But, it was written by George Washington, had part in it. And he was a slave owner. So, and I'm sure there's more slave owners, but I'm not for sure, but hey, whatever.
Should not attempt to thwart the state's rights. That's why if you want to live over here, you want to vote for no guns, and everybody, the thugs are just shooting up your community, that Texas don't have to abide by that. Neither does Arizona or any other of these sane places where people can have their rights.
If we seize all guns, then we make it so that way it's only in law enforcement. And then when law enforcement starts selling guns, because you know how scummy police can be when they start selling guns. When they start selling guns, then when they start selling guns, then we can sniff them out and take care of them a lot easier, right? But
rights that were in the founding documents. This man, they get so smart that they become ignorant. You can be intelligent and still be stupid. You can have all the big words you want and go to all and have all the degrees, but if you can't logically understand the fallacy or the problems with not having a document like the Constitution of the United States of America, which the founding fathers preceded, or at least they projected that all people would have rights given to us from God.
oh really? So slavery's okay now? You brought God into it, so slavery must be okay now. Also, guys, look at the time I paused that. It's like literally 4 minutes left until we're done. But it just wanted to point out that's cool. But yeah, so slavery's okay now. Slavery is okay, and God approves. Does he know?
Right.
Does he know American history? How about what was it? Okay, oops. Oh, is this kind of like what's too loud and what's not loud? I don't know. I'm putting the mic a little bit down. I don't know. What is it? Okay, it's flash. Okay, so I'm like too loud at this point. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So sorry about that, guys. Okay. So I think we're good to go now. I think we're good. Think we're good. Think we're good to go. Okay. Yeah. So he must think that slavery is okay, and God approves of slavery. He must think that.
To free the slaves, the amendment, the free the slaves, to give them voting rights and citizenship. You want to get rid of that? What document do you have? Oh, it's the progressive document. The document that would put conservatives in internment camps. These are the type of people that
Okay, I never heard put conservatives in internment camps. I don't know where that's coming from.
want to do that. The fascists that fight fascism with fascism.
Yes, fascism. Okay, we cannot. Fascism is okay if you have the right people ruling. Here's the thing: because it's in nature, it cannot be done ever until we get to the golden age, and at that point, we only need people to be fascist anymore. So again, fascism is okay in the right hands, and it's disgusting in the wrong hands. Because if Jesus was in his position, way different. Okay, but you saw what happened. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so volume. I think. Okay, so I can hear. Try to make it so you guys can hear good. I'll work it out eventually. Okay, you guys are gonna try to. You guys are gonna have to help me with this, but fashion was okay in the right hands, but thanks to nature, it will never be in the right hands.
The people who fight racism with racism. And then he goes on to talk about the fact that
Okay, okay. So I was actually telling my sister or my brother that fighting racism with racism can actually bring equality. Now, I was talking about specifically in the whole Brian Flores situation, where if we be racist for 50% of the NFL and only get black owners, then it will bring true equality. But that's not really racism, but it kind of is. So I was just being a little bit tongue in cheek about it. But no, for fighting, here's the thing: if you want to get into a race war, go ahead, do it. Well, guess what? America's mostly white. And where's the heart of black people? Where's the heart of black people? It's in Africa. So you can take first world country. I'd probably say like they're like superior. It's a way superior country and against Africa, and let's see how that turns out. So we're not having a race war. We're not going whatever that, we have lack of ammunition. Saying that because that's how the actually Russian warship turned out that they just said it because their lack of ammunition, so they had to surrender.
it was written by, I'm going to play it real quick because I want y'all to hear what he said.
It's just better. That's just better, and you can.
Oh yeah, healthcare is important. People die because they don't have enough insulin. Okay, and they can't afford to have enough insulin. Also, yeah, just
Can't the amendments help some of that?
Well, here's the problem with the amendment process.
Really fast now. I got 20 seconds.
The problem with the amendment process is that in American history, there have been 115 people allowed to interpret what the amendments mean. 108 of them have been white. That's the problem.
okay, yeah. So doesn't mean we thought the Constitution. We attack that particular problem. We make sure that people like Childs aren't the only black representation. For an example, I'll give an example. In lab rats, there's only one for basically for all listeners until season 4 when I just throw a bunch of kids into there. For all of it, for lab rats, season 1 through season 3, you have this one black guy named Leo. He was like not even a side character unless you're a background character. You only got one guy, Leo. He's a freaking coon. He's literally a coon. There's an episode where they were okay. So in Lab Rats is basically a show about three bionic teenagers, and three bionic teenagers. Okay. So three bionic teenagers, and then the dad of the teenagers treats them like they're robots, but more like the robots and not like the humans. So Leo says, "Hey, let's go on strike," right? So it was his idea. Says, "Hey, let's go on strike." Then Davenport, the dad, convinces Leo to be a literal coon. So and the whole child situation, again, coon. So yeah. So I just
You are so.
So yeah, we can take that particular problem, not throw the Constitution. That's crazy talk. And again, we are not a sane America. We're in a state of insanity in America right now. Not the whole doing over and over again insanity, but we're literally in the state. It's insane. Okay, at this point. So we're not gonna amend the Constitution. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Please. If that happens, it's not going to turn out well.
I mean, is that not racism? Just the mere fact that they're white.
Yes, that is important because everyone in Lab Rats, except for side characters, is white, and the only black representation is that. And another one, his mother, because is black, gets completely, basically made out of the butt of a joke for most of the series. So, hey, But yes, that is important. It's absolutely important. But this guy's a coon, so so that way, the best people in the world can clip it and say, here's a black guy saying this.
Tells you that that's a problem. Like how does that alone? If all of them were black, he wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but I think that's hey, all of them black. That needs to be that's something that needs to be fixed. If all of them are black.
If all of them were minorities, that's fine. But because they were white, majority of them were white, then that's a problem. What you should actually be thinking of is that, wow.
Can you wait until I'm done? Because they can pick up on basically everything.
I'm just laying my hands down.
Yeah, but can you wait? Because they can hear it literally, like, they hear this.
Well, I'm already done. So.
Okay.
That almost says a lot about white people, that we live in the greatest country on planet Earth, and if you want to claim it's founded exclusively,
Chris, by how? One metric. Because by the Bible goes, Evil Panda, I don't think so.
white people are ruled by white people, and kudos to them.
Also, you look at the Evil Panda thing. That's a once thing. You have to be really once fan to get that joke.
Show me where else you want to live other than the West. You don't want to live East, and none of y'all are advocating for principles, governments that exist currently on the continent of Africa. Not any of those countries. Nobody's advocating for the blackest countries on planet Earth. You're not trying to live nothing like they live in. Y'all are over here absorbing the sun from the Western European countries, pretty much. Western world.
Okay, what's your point?
And complaining.
Complain about what? About Tamir Rice? About Emmett Till? Complain with those people?
But show me where else you would like to live on the globe. Show me countries that are primarily black that you would rather live in. Not
Jamaica.
mostly black. Okay, there ain't none.
Again, Jamaica.
You're beating up the white man, but I think the white man got it figured out. It seems like everybody else still slow rolling.
Okay. Would you consider Koreans or Russians or Ukrainians? Would you consider them white? It's America who got it figured out. Thanks to World War II and their approach to freedom, which by the years, I think there's been less and less, and also more and more. It's like I said, balance. But yeah,
The white man in the West got it figured out. Instead of you saying the American Constitution in America in and of itself is a mindset, it's not a color. Freedom is a mindset. Freedom.
okay. Let's take a look back at the authors. Okay, let's take a look back at the authors. Let's check out the authors of the Constitution. Some of them are either black or a woman. Okay, let's go. Okay, none there. I'm there's a lot of ones though, so I'm sure we'll see. Okay, go. I don't understand why this slide isn't working. Maybe it's because everything don't load up. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's see if I skipped. Oh, yep, it's James Wilson, so I didn't skip it. Okay. Those are all white men. Okay. All white men. Okay. All white men. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's probably a black person or more white men. Okay. Well, more white men. So tell me.
Freedom is an idea. It's not a color of somebody.
Okay, it's the idea of a specific white male demographic.
Skin. Kudos to the men. Let me just say this.
He's sending kudos to the slave owners. Yep. Yep. Now I might be taking a little bit of context, but let's listen.
Somebody say again. Kudos to the men. Let me just say this. I bet you he's an atheist. And if he's a Christian,
Whoa! Where did that come from? I didn't come to that conclusion. Now, I generally believe that everyone I see is a secularist, especially in the left, because at least in the right, there's still a little more biblical principles, except for war. Ugh. But I think the left is I think like the left, or at least the main part of the left, is LGBTQ and abortion. Those are two things that I think basically every leftist agrees on. Okay, corporate or not. I am a democratic socialist. Don't consider myself a leftist, but whatever. Let's go.
got a big problem. Because are you complaining about the men who wrote the Bible? Because they were, the lineage was,
Bible's different because it came directly from God.
they came from a particular lineage through the line of David and all of these people. It came through one bloodline. You got a problem with that? Many of the men who were represented and wrote
Okay, so if you're saying, number one, after we established that the Bible is real, it happened again. After we established that the Bible's real, after we established the Bible's real, then after we established the Bible's real, I don't know why I keep doing this. After we establish that the Bible is real, then you have to then agree with if the Bible's existence is true and real and it was actually written by God, you have to agree with everything else that's written in there, and it says that it comes directly from God. So either you're saying the Bible's fake, or you're going with that. There's nothing else. That's it.
the Bible had prominent positions in the Bible. God's chosen people came from a particular bloodline. You got a problem with that? Do you have a problem with that? Because I would argue that many of them were of the same ethnicity. You have a problem with that? Okay. All right. I guess you can't follow Jesus because he ain't African American. Okay. All right. Let me get up off here. I love you guys. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. See you on the next one. I'm out.
Okay. Again, it's very funny. But again, we've seen exactly how this guy twists things. Okay. Now, The View is insane. I would never watch The View unless I don't think The View is even necessary to like learn your opponent. I think TYT and stuff like that would be more effective to try to learn your opponent. Honestly, Jimmy Dore is my opponent, so that's why I'm not Jimmy Dore, Middle America, Gray Zone, basically anyone that Jimmy Dore or Middle America shuts out is also re-endorsed for me. So those people were trying to build a true American news outlet, but it's just the facts with James. I'm trying to make a joke. I can't figure it. Okay, all right, yeah. So we've seen how this guy twists his words and how he's full of crap, and you just gotta take a look, okay? And human nature is also a factor, okay? And again, I don't believe we should throw out the Constitution. I think we need to change the Constitution. We cannot throw away the Constitution, especially in this time of America. Things are literally insane. And if you chalk it up to either Democrats or Republicans at this point, it's not going to go well. So, keep it, amend it, and stick to it, and stick to the Geneva Convention. Alright, guys. Peace out. See you guys later. Love y'all. Bye. Holy crap. We're in for a tough one.